Hello, I'm Stephanie Boyce, the Deputy Vice President of the Law Society of England and Wales. The Law Society is the professional body for solicitors. In October 2021, I will become the 177th, the 6th female, and the first ethnic minority to become President of the Law Society of England and Wales in its almost 200-year history. So, how did I become Deputy Vice President? Simply put, I didn't know that I couldn't. So let me share with you my journey into the solicitor profession. I began my journey in Aylesbury, and growing up in Aylesbury in the 1970s was a place that I would come back to time and time again. Aylesbury was a small town, a small sleepy market town with little ethnic diversity compared to today. I grew up with the sounds of injustices ringing in my ears domestically and globally. I could see people struggling to exercise their rights, and this is what inspired me to join the legal profession, to become a solicitor. Many of you may have heard about access to justice. And when we talk about access to justice, it's about being able to exercise your rights, your legal rights. But legal rights mean absolutely nothing if you don't know when those rights are being taken away, or you don't know how to exercise those rights. After living in Aylesbury for a number of years, I went to live in America, and America would have a lasting impression upon me. I would be overcome by the poverty, the injustices, people unable to access justice because of their low socio-economic position, people struggling to exercise their rights, people having little or no rights because of the colour of their skin. And how I long to make a difference, to have my voice heard, to encourage and inspire the voiceless to speak. In 1991, I returned to the UK to live and study, but not before I came across my first barrier to qualification. My US qualification, my high school diploma, was not enough to allow me entry to a British university at that time. I would spend another 2 years undertaking an access to higher education diploma, and this enabled me to enter London Guildhall University, as it was so named, in February 1996 as a part-time student, whilst working part-time at British Rail. By September of that same year, I had enrolled full-time, leaving behind my life in Aylesbury and all things familiar, packing up my worldly goods in my car and heading to Mile End. But how I longed for the familiarity of the old market town, the parish church of St Mary, the views of the town and beyond. In June 1999, I graduated with an LLB Honours with Politics from London Guildhall University. In September 1999, I entered the College of Law, Guildford, where I would study and complete the legal practice course, or the LPC as it is sometimes known. The LPC being the final academic qualification en route to becoming a solicitor currently. In 2000, the year of the Millennium Bug, I commenced my training contract, the last hurdle to becoming a qualified solicitor. Again, I would return to Aylesbury, the spiritual cradle of the Paralympics, the place where my dream had started all those years ago as a young child, with that dream to become as a lawyer. I would commence my training contract with a local firm in the historic part of Aylesbury, a stone's throw away from my home, and I was lucky in that respect. Having walked into Howard & James for the first time as a trainee solicitor in 2000, I would walk out of Howard & James for the final time as a qualified solicitor in 2002, an officer of the court with an overriding duty to the rule of law and the administration of justice. The legal profession in general, and solicitors specifically, have a clear role to play in championing the values and concepts of justice, fairness, equity and legitimacy, and never more so than now. I'm often reminding myself to not lose my joy in the difficulties of life, to keep my joy through the difficulties. And of course, at this time, we are in the middle of a global pandemic that has taken the lives of over 1 million people. No country, no place has been left untouched. The virus is a stark reminder that life is precious and for living. And whilst many dreams have been placed on hold, whilst we wait for the virus to pass and a vaccine to be found, life must go on. If not for the pandemic, I would have been the Vice President of the Law Society by now. But as it is, I will take up this position in 2 weeks' time and become the Vice President of the Law Society. In October 2021, I will become, as I said, President. I'm determined to leave the legal profession more diverse and inclusive than the one I entered. That more must be done to remove barriers, open doors, and confront unacceptable behaviours that do not allow everyone the opportunity to succeed and make the most of their talents, regardless of their race, gender, disability, sexuality, religion, or background. My story is one of resilience and determination, a burning desire to stand by my dream until it was realised, a definite purpose, and one I was prepared to stand by until it was achieved. Would you believe me if I told you it took me 4 attempts, 4 times to become Deputy Vice President? I was not prepared to quit by temporary setbacks. So if you have ever been discouraged, faced difficulties that have taken the very soul out of you, marooned in the despair or the desert of despair, been knocked back, faced hurdles, that no matter where you are in life, you too can reach your full potential if you are willing to get into action, to train your mind towards your definite purpose, to never quit, to never give up, and keep pushing. Push, persevere until something happens. I believe in you, and I wish you all the very best. Thank you.